Welcome to the Waffle Beaver channel. I'll do my best to explain my design process and construction of this 3-tier toolbox. About 12 years ago, when I first started working construction, I was helping my grandma clean out her house and I found one of these old sewing boxes. But I wanted a toolbox that would be a little bit more compact and lighter. Iterations are helpful before fabricating. I like to look at my concept and try to make one improvement, sleep, make another improvement, and repeat. Once I'm impatient, I'll detail out the design. This is how I'll typically lay out pieces of something that I see as complex, and this is just so I can concentrate on one thing at a time. I experiment with making boxes, and I had one box that was already 7¼ inch deep by 11½ inch wide by 2 5/8 in height, and I needed 2 more boxes to make a 3-tier box. Instead of making 2 individual boxes, I simply made one box greater than 2 times the height of the original box, and after reinforcing with plywood splines, I cut the box in half and I added 1/4 inch plywood to act as the bottom for each of the 3 boxes. If I wasn't addicted to making boxes out of trash wood, I would probably just buy pre-made boxes. It's a lot cheaper and would save a lot of time. I cut 1/2 inch Baltic birch plywood into 1 inch strips and then cut them to the correct width. This is a pattern following bit that I use to round over the corners on my router table, also known as a piece of plywood that holds my router table upside down. I added 3/4 inch foam to the middle and top box using contact cement, and then clamped all the 3 boxes together so I could lay out a diagonal line from corner to corner. Using the center of the diagonal line and an ice pick, I marked where the outside holes would go, pivoting the arm on the center. To find the centerline hole locations for the smaller hinge arms, make a template to match up with the center line of the middle hinge arm. Flip the template to the other side, make the hole marks, and then repeat on the other side of the box. And sorry that I never got my actual layout and installation on video, but hopefully this little SketchUp video will help. At this point, this is where I got maker's block, and I ended up procrastinating. While scrolling through the Instructables website, I saw the contest to finish it already, and this was just a little bit of motivation I needed to start working on this project again. While tinkering, I randomly decided to just make a cam latch without drawing it or testing it. It was kind of random. And that failed because the 3/4 inch piece of scrap wood I used was too thick to allow the boxes to fold out. I ended up cutting a bevel on one side of the latch to allow the boxes to fold out. It's tight and a little tricky, but I've gotten used to it now, and I actually kind of like it. Sorry I didn't film any fabrication of the back plate. It's really just a bunch of scrap wood glued together and screwed to the top box. This back plate I think could be improved a lot more, as well as the latch. I hope that someone who watches this can see that there's a lot of improvement here. I think it would be really cool if people can see this toolbox, make it their own, improve it, and I'll probably end up making some improvements on my own as well. This is the 4th or 5th toolbox that I've completely remade. I like having a toolbox to always work on because you can make little improvements with time, and it's fun to tinker, customize, and explores different mechanisms as well. Old tie-down straps were cut and used for the bottom handle, the shoulder strap, and drill an impact holder on the back plate. This is not necessary, but I just wanted a place to hold some of my common tools. One of the things that I thought I'd show is my everyday carry. So I got some drill bits, some spare little Phillips #2s, square heads, and Phillips I use a lot. Keep a little bit of 1 1/4 inch screws, probably the most common screw I use. Little Gerber multi-tool. I like to use this one. It's pretty handy. Keep it in my belt most, but I tend to use this a lot. This is another case full of some drill bits and just some miscellaneous bits. Then in here is where I keep little square, more bits, countersinks, bit holder, diagonal cutters, little knife picks, some screws that I demolish or remove. Sometimes I'll save it in here and I'll throw this away later. Then of course the wooden gear I like to use a lot. This little Wera screwdriver, which also has some bits. I like to use this a lot. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or find me on Twitter @WaffleViewer. Thank you.